Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 67. Zhongyuan was shocked. Is he joking with me? He could actually say such things. Yu Shizi had truly said these words to His Majesty. And many people had heard them, said Steward Feng shamelessly. Yu Shizi probably didn't make it sound that bad, but the rumors are unpleasant to hear. They said you were very fastidious. Once you grew jealous, you'd cry and yell incessantly, and it would be difficult to coax you. In the past, Royal Princess Angguo tried to settle a marriage for Yu Shizi and your honored self made a huge fuss. Afterwards, your honored self cried as you ran away, all the way until 7 years had passed, following along 2 rivers as you sobbed. Wherever you passed by, moving and sorrowful storybooks would be written about you. Zhongyuan was speechless. Then he said, so I just cried and ran for 7 years? Even if I were an animal, I would have died running like that. Also, back then this father went through the rigors of living in the wilderness as I struggled on my journey to Qianan for Prince Ning. Zhongyuan was angered to the point that his head rang. Why is Yu placing so much importance on himself? What's me going to Qianan got to do with him? When did this become his business? And he even said that I cried as I ran. Running and crying on a 3-month journey. I'd like to see him run the whole 3-month journey while crying. Steward Feng rushed to placate him by saying, Yu Shizi wasn't the one who said these things. These were rumors. Who would have expected that after being spread for a while, they would? Zhongyuan was so furious, his 5 viscera and 6 bowels hurt. What else did he say? Steward Feng hurried to say, Yu Shizi didn't say anything else that was unpleasant to hear. He said you didn't want him to take on concubines. If he did, then at that time you would keep clinging to him, not letting Yu Shizi attend morning court and inconveniencing him greatly. All right, stop talking. Zhongyuan felt a headache coming, breaking him down. I suddenly don't feel like seeing Xianjing for him. Steward Feng feared that if Yu Shi returned, he and Zhongyuan would quarrel. So, he quickly said, don't be angry, don't be angry. Isn't Yu Shizi just doing this so he doesn't have to take a concubine? Right now, you are Yu Shizi's advisor. You must be very tolerant. Wasn't this what you said before? Your honored self is an advisor and is willing to do all the humiliating things for Yu Shizi. So your honored self should just go along with this matter. It's righteous to the extreme. It shows the loyalty you have for Yu Shizi. Motherfucker, I've never heard of this before. Zhongyuan was angered near death. Which family's advisor would take on such a bad reputation for their master? Steward Feng could only smile in a dry manner. It's the most capable people who have to do the most work. To which Zhongyuan could only cry inwardly. He buried all of his suffering at the bottom of his heart. He forced himself to eat breakfast, then had someone prepare a carriage. He would meet with Xianjing himself. Once Zhongyuan had arrived at Xianjing's estate, he encountered Xianjing just as the other party had returned from morning court. Xianjing was very unhappy when he saw the carriage with the symbol of Prince Yu's estate. However, he was polite as he invited Zhongyuan inside. After the tea was served, Xianjing dismissed all the servants in the room. He smacked the table. Where is Linsi? Before Zhongyuan could respond, Xianjing said, enraged, don't try to lie to me anymore. After Prince Qianan had returned to the capital in secret and Yu Shi came to capture them, many people saw Linsi. He definitely ran to your side after leaving my place. I can't believe I actually believed your lies. Zhongyuan was shocked. It's been so long, but Linsi's actually still avoiding Xianjing? He didn't know what Linsi had planned. Although he didn't really approve of Linsi's continuous avoidance of Xianjing, he did not want to make decisions for him. Zhongyuan paused, before saying, yes, Linsi indeed had come to me. But you should also know that after that, I fell ill until now. I never once stepped foot outside the side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate. I really don't know where he is right now. Xianjing's gaze was gloomy. Hesitatingly he said, Does he still blame me? Zhongyuan absolutely did not know what had happened between those two. He could only say, he doesn't. I've asked him about this before and he said that he felt ashamed, that he didn't dare to see you. Xianjing spat out a curse. Then he said with impatience, if you came to find me, that means Yushi has something to tell me, right? Yes. But it's also my own desire to do this, said Zhongyuan, serious. You should know already that the chief of the Baidi tribes has been disturbing our borders over and over again, right? Suspicious, Xianjing looked at Zhongyuan. Yes, I do. So what? It's just that they're temporarily unable to make ends meet from lack of food. That's why they're plundering the frontier like usual. Zhongyuan sighed in his heart. Indeed, no one had loved or cared about fourth prince. Neither the court nor those foreigners paid him any attention. Frowning, Xianjing asked, what is it? Nothing. I'm just here in Yushi's stead to give you some advice, said Zhongyuan. In the future, if it seems like the court wants to wage war on the Baidi tribes, you must not be tricked by others and accompany the troops to battle. Becoming more alarmed, Xianjing asked, what are your people thinking? How many people are even in the Baidi tribes? How is that worth waging a war? It's worth it? Zhongyuan hid the fact that those spies from Baidi tribes had looked for Yushi. Instead, he informed Xianjing of the conspiracy between Xianqiang and the Baidi chief. Then he said, in the court, there are two imperial princes. Since the chief of the Baidi tribes did not contact you, then this trap was made for you. If in the future, war seems imminent, think of a plan. Feign an illness or give yourself an injury. In short, don't accompany the troops to battle. After he had heard those words, Xianjing grew dumbstruck. A long while later, he understood and he was furious. That motherfucking chief is a piece of shit. Why didn't he partner up with me to trap Xianqiang? Zhongyuan was speechless. Then, although he was very unwilling, Zhongyuan consoled Suanjing by saying, he probably knows that His Highness the Fourth Prince is magnanimous to all things. And he foresaw that your honored self would not cooperate with him. Once Xianjing had heard that, he grew stumped for words. Zhongyuan had scratched his itch. In an uneasy manner, he coughed twice. Naturally that is the case. Xianjing picked up his teacup. Then set it back down. Suspicious, he said, why would Yushi be this kind-hearted to advise me? Your Highness Fourth Prince, said Zhongyuan calmly. If your honored self wouldn't cooperate with the chief of the Baidi tribes, does that mean Yushizi would? If it's just our own people competing in the court, then fine. But is colluding with foreigners to turn what was supposed to be a small disturbance at the border into a large war something that should be done? Xianjing frowned, deep creases were in his brows. After thinking for a good while, he sneered. You don't have to ingratiate yourself with me. The chief of the Baidi tribes did not contact me. But if he did, I would find a way to have Xianqiang go to Beijiang. Whoever wants to die can die. Xianqiang has the large tree that is Prince Yu's estate behind him. If he doesn't fall, then I can never pass my days in peace. Suanjing turned to look at Zhongyuan. Yushi isn't afraid of Xianqiang? I'll tell you the truth. I heard of some news on my side. Xianqiang is more afraid of Yushi than he is of me. Since Yushi unexpectedly has the conscience to warn me out of kindness, then I'll also inform you of something. Recently, Prince Yu has been very displeased about Yushi's actions. You people. Zhongyuan furrowed his brows. What do you mean? What does Prince Yu want to do? How should I know? Prince Yu's estate is known for being hard to spy into. It was difficult for me to even find this out. In any case, You people should fend for yourselves, said Xianjing. Yushi should not delude himself anymore or have any groundless hopes. Prince Yu is the most clear about what Yushi is. He wholeheartedly wants to help Xianqiang ascend the throne. At present, Yushi is obstructing his goal. You people need to consider things carefully. This news came from Royal Princess Angguo's side. If you people want to know more, you should start there. Zhongyuan fell silent for a while. Then he nodded. Thank you. Xianjing wanted to say something, but hesitated. Since you want to thank me, then, when you see Lin Si, tell him to come back soon. And tell him. Agitated, Xianjing said, tell him I don't blame him. If a mute is blocked by someone, they can't make a sound. So, what is he hiding for? A smile spread across Zhongyuan's lips. He rose to his feet. All right. Preoccupied with his thoughts, Xianjing sent Zhongyuan off. Then he returned inside full of worry. Zhongyuan knew well that Xianjing would not believe everything he had just said. But that wasn't important. As long as Xianjing knew of Xianqiang's plan, he wouldn't impulsively follow the army to Beijiang in the future. Furthermore, if in such circumstances, Yushi requested to accompany the army, Xianjing would know Yushi had the intention to compete for the throne. And Xianjing would definitely obstruct his path. And he'd try his best to do so. What would Emperor Chang'an think? Two imperial princes. One that kept silent and one that tried his utmost to obstruct Yushi. In the future, when Yushi presented the letter written in blood that the spy from the Baidi tribes had given him, what would Emperor Chang'an think then? Once this situation occurred, Emperor Chang'an would be thoroughly disappointed in Xianqiang. A light sigh escaped Zhongyuan's lips. He hoped that in the future, Xianjing wouldn't blame him too much. If worst comes to worst, when Lin Si comes looking for himself, he'd give him some sleeping drugs and have Steward Feng send Lin Si to Xianjing. It was still early when Zhongyuan had exited Xianjing's estate. The family soldiers escorting the carriage asked him whether he wanted to return to the estate or go somewhere else. After hesitating for a moment, Zhongyuan said, "Never mind. Let's not go." The family soldier stared blankly. "Where does young Master Zhon wish to go?" Yu Shizi said that as long as your honored self does not leave the city, your honored self may go anywhere. No need. Zhon broke into a smile of disappointment and frustration. He and I don't have anything else to say to one another. Probingly, the family soldier said, "Young master is talking about the former Prince Jianan? He is still in the capital. It's convenient to see him." Zhongyuan shook his head and dropped the curtain. Come evening time, the Yushi who had listened to politics all day finally returned to his estate. Yushi did not make a stop at the forecourt. Instead, he directly made for Zhongyuan's courtyard, a bag of something in hand. Zhongyuan was in the middle of reading. They met gazes. In a flash, Yushi looked somewhere else. Zhongyuan definitely knew that he started a rumor in front of Emperor Chang'an, one that branded him as a jealous person. And Yushi felt somewhat apologetic about it. On his way back after morning court had ended, he passed by a store selling light refreshments. And he deliberately disembarked from his carriage to buy a bag of candy for Zhongyuan. "This is for you." Yushi placed the neatly wrapped bag of candy on top of the desk. "Eat one when you're taking your medicine in the morning and night." A sigh left Zhongyuan's lips. Was Yushi coaxing him like a child? He was already in his 20s. He's not lacking a dick, so he had sexual urges. Was candy what he really needed right now? Lowering his head, Zhongyuan played with his jade medallion. All of a sudden, he said in a soft voice, "Today, Xianjing laughed at me." At that moment, Yushi felt somewhat guilty. In a pitiable manner, Zhongyuan said, "As I was returning to the estate today, I felt like everyone was pointing at me, calling me a jealous person." Yushi's gaze grew evasive. He hesitated, before pushing the bag of candy on the desk forward. Zhonwan was angered to the point of smiling. After he ate the candy, then things would be considered settled. It would be time for dinner very soon. According to the rules, the little servant girl would come to light the lamps and wait on them. Zhonwan said softly, "You Shizi. Shouldn't I be repaid a debt?" Outside, the sole servant girl of the side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate was in the middle of putting away the cups. Behind the divider screen of the inner chamber, Yushi pressed Zhonwan against the bedhead, hiding from the servant girl, secretly kissing him. Zhonwan was not at all fond of half-hearted light kisses. Yushi was also clear on this fact. He seemed to be compensating and also seemed to be apologizing, kissing him fiercely. Considering Zhonwan's preference for that, he carefully and forcefully twisted Zhonwan's hands behind him. Zhonwan was kissed slightly breathless by Yushi, so he scooted back a bit. Yushi wrapped an arm around Zhonwan's waist and tugged him forward again. Then Yushi gave Zhonwan a break, saying in a soft voice, "You don't like sweets, but do you like this one?" Yushi had kissed him to the point where Zhonwan's breathing was hurried and ragged. He grunted softly, agreeing. And Yushi once again kissed him. The lamps had yet to be lit in the inner chamber. The little servant girl thought the room was empty, entering with a candle. The moment she had caught sight of the two people, she was so scared that her braids stood up on end. She rushed outside. Yushi released Zhonwan, sitting at the side. Although Zhonwan wished to keep going, he was too embarrassed to cling to Yushi. He picked up the bag of candy Yushi had brought. Ripped open the bag. One glance, and he couldn't help but say, "Yushizi. How did you feed me the candy in those yellow books?" Zhonwan pursed his lips, his intention self-evident. They've already kissed. So, the most Yushi could do was feed him the candy by mouth. Yushi looked down, gaze dark and gloomy. "You really want to know?" Zhonwan cleared his throat. Pushed down the bit of embarrassment in his heart. "You read so many of those books. You ought to know what they say about this." Yushi tilted his head. Suddenly, as if sighing, he laughed. He truly had no concept of death or danger. If he didn't teach him a lesson, Zhonwan would truly become uncontrollable. Yushi rose to his feet and walked in front of Zhonwan. He pinched and picked up a piece of candy, muttering, "Do you want to know how I fed you this candy in those story books? In those books, I'd take this candy," said Yushi in a tranquil manner as he looked at Zhonwan, "and put it in your other mouth. Then ask you if the candy is sweet or not." Zhonwan's face flushed. Yushi simply did not pay him any mind, shifting his gaze a bit at his lower body. He said into Zhonwan's ear's near whisper, "If you dare to say it's not sweet, I'd slip in another too. Until you can't take it anymore and say that they're sweet, say that you like to eat them like this." Zhonwan's legs went soft. Tilting his head, he said, Be quiet." Yushi's ears glowed red. However, he could still endure it. He took advantage of the fact that it was nighttime so that Zhonwan wouldn't notice. He grabbed and tilted up Zhonwan's chin in warning as he said in a cold voice, "Understand? It's not that I don't want to or am incapable of doing such a thing. If you can't stand it now, then don't tease me again regardless of the severity. What can a virgin like you endure?" Yushi looked Zhonwan up and down. Incredulous, he said, "You still like being tied up, but if I actually tie you up all night, would you still have a life?" Just when Zhonwan wanted to retort, outside, Steward Feng saw the little servant girl run off. Thinking that those two had scared her off due to quarreling, he rushed over. And the two immediately shut up. Once Steward Feng saw that Yushi and Zhonwan weren't quarreling, he felt very grateful. He approached to clean up the teacups, smiling as he said, "Ah. Why did Yushizi buy candy from the outside? What kind of candies offered as tribute does our estate not have?" Without thinking much of it, Steward Feng asked, is it sweet? Zhonwan choked. Yushi looked in a different direction, the corners of his lips tilting upward a shade. With indifference, he said, he's asking you. Zhonwan held back his emotions so hard that his face went red from the effort. A good while later, he said, it's sweet. End chapter. Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 68. After eating dinner, Zhonwan relayed in detail the events that had transpired when he had seen Xianjing today. He asked, what will Prince Yu do? Yushi was silent for a moment. Then Yushi shook his head. I can't guess. Since young, I've never been able to guess what he was thinking, Yushi said. Thus, I've taken the initiative to become the chess piece that keeps him in check for the Emperor, continuously aggravating the relationship between him and the Emperor. At the end of the day, if the Emperor makes Xianqiang the Crown Prince, that's the same as making Prince Yu the Crown Prince. One of the major reasons the Emperor indulges me so much is because he knows I won't become a puppet for Prince Yu. Zhonwan asked, say. Do you think he knows about how Xianqiang is colluding with the Baidi tribes? Yushi shook his head. Most likely not. Zhonwan paused for a moment. He couldn't help laughing. A hint of amusement flashed through Yushi's eyes. The news was leaked from Royal Princess Angguo's estate. It's hard to tell if it was actually purposeful or not, Zhonwan said. Yushi-zi, are you going to go see the princess? Naturally, Yushi said. Tomorrow. Zhonwan asked, I'll go with you. Don't. The issue of taking a concubine, it was rare for Yushi to be in the wrong. She'll likely blame you. Don't go searching for trouble. Zhonwan purposefully asked, would you watch the princess hit me and not do anything? No, Yushi answered. But I can't cover her mouth to stop her from yelling at you. There's no room for discussion about this matter, all right? Stay home by yourself tomorrow. With no other option, Zhonwan nodded. Oh right. I'll have to trouble Yushizi to tell your family soldiers to be more accommodating if Lin Si comes looking for me in the next few days. Don't stop him again. I have official business to discuss with him. Yushi reflexively furrowed his brows. He was slightly unwilling. Zhonwan was curious. Yushizi. There's something I find very strange. Why do you hate Lin Si? Yushi lowered his gaze and sipped his tea. He didn't respond. He's just a mute. He can't annoy you. Objectively speaking, said Zhonwan. He's a good and honest person. I honestly can't understand why anyone would dislike him. Yushi scoffed. He asked Zhonwan in return, aside from wanting to see him to give him a few tasks, do you also want to see him so you can help speak up for Xianjing? Zhonwan froze. How did Yushi know about that? Yushi continued, if I haven't guessed wrong again, did he and Xianjing have an argument? Aren't the two of them on bad terms at the moment? Zhonwan thought about it and replied, technically, they're not on bad terms, I think. Just today, Xianjing told me to tell Lin Si that he doesn't blame Lin Si anymore. He wants Lin Si to return. Yushi's expression turned even darker upon hearing this. In disgust, he said, publicly, they've separated, but in reality, this is just a lover's spat. And they were even making you play messenger between them. How overdramatic and disgusting. Zhonwan couldn't help laughing. I never asked you, how do you know about the two of them? Yushi answered indifferently, I guessed long ago. How long ago? Zhonwan was shocked. Even I only found out a few months ago. Yushi said, several years ago. Still astonished, Zhonwan said, Lin Si already? So long ago? What a conscience he must have. At the time, in his letters to Jianan, he often said that he couldn't stop worrying about me, to the point that he had no appetite at all. He said that he spent days without eating, and I really believed him. I feared that he wouldn't rest at ease, so fooled him by saying that I was in great health. Turns out he had already fucked Xianjing early on? Then why did he keep acting in front of me a few months ago? Fucked, Yushi couldn't really get the words out of his mouth. He glanced at Zhongyuan and said instead, I'm unsure if they've reached that step yet, but there's definitely been something going on between the two of them since long ago. Otherwise, previously. Yushi wasn't very interested in speaking about this topic. He handed Zhongyuan's medicine to him. Zhongyuan was itching with curiosity. What happened previously? Yushi was exasperated. Do you want to know? Zhongyuan furiously nodded. Yushi said, eat your medicine first. With no other choice, Zhongyuan ate the medicine pill. He incessantly urged, tell me. Yushi narrowed his eyes in thought. 4 years ago, Xianjing's mother, Imperial consort Shu, visited his estate, and taught Linxi a lesson. Zhongyuan's expression changed. Quite unbothered, Yushi continued, she wasn't ruthless. Besides, everything was only a misunderstanding. That period of time. It had been nearing Imperial consort Shu's birthday. It was a whole grand birthday celebration. Xianjing prepared a banquet at his own estate, determined to hold a grand celebration. Imperial consort Shu arrived at his estate a day early and instantly spotted Linxi. Linxi was wearing the clothes of a servant but was freely walking in and out of the inner courtyard. He also had an ancient jade pendant on, which seemed out of place. Imperial consort Shu noticed him and found him strange, so she asked about him. Upon finding out that he was a criminal who had been lowered to the rank of a slave, she felt even more surprised. Imperial consort Shu thought that he had fooled his way into the inner courtyard to steal, thus ordered people to search his room. As expected, she found much silver and gold. He was a slave who didn't even earn a monthly wage. How could he have money? Imperial consort Shu assumed that he was definitely a thief. Additionally, Linxi was a mute who only knew how to sign. Who could understand him? He couldn't explain and so, he got apprehended. Originally, this wasn't a big deal at all. Which family didn't have a petty thief or two among their staff? Imperial consort Shu was still celebrating her birthday, which meant she didn't want to punish him too harshly. Thus, she ordered someone to beat him, 20-something times. Zhongyuan furrowed his brows. And then Xianjing returned and saw this. At the time, they were actually almost done beating Linxi. Yushi's expression was apathetic. But upon seeing Linxi sprawled out on the ground, getting hit, Xianjing roared into the sky and asked the heavens who dared to hit Linxi. After finding out that Imperial consort Shu was the one who had ordered the punishment, he howled and said, Consort mother, if you want to beat him to death, you'll need to beat me to death first. Zhongyuan face-palmed. Xianjing, the idiot. Yushi's face was blank. Even I was shocked, not to mention Imperial consort Shu. Zhongyuan got out with difficulty, and then nothing, Yushi said. Imperial consort Shu was greatly frightened, temporarily unable to react. Xianjing believed that Imperial consort Shu intended to beat Linxi to death and became extremely agitated. He charged forward to block the other from the paddle. Linxi flipped over and covered Xianjing with his own body. Because of this interlude, Linxi got beaten several more times. Zhongyuan tried to hold his laughter back. He didn't feel sorry for the other at all. Imperial consort Shu was quite confused. She had wanted to celebrate her birthday happily but almost beat her own son. Originally, she didn't feel suspicious at all. However, she felt that something was off after witnessing this incident. She interrogated the two of them for a long time. Yet, there probably hadn't been anything going on between the two of them at that time. They only had a relationship that was slightly more intimate than usual. After asking them and the servants at the estate, Imperial consort Shu didn't manage to get any results. Thus, this matter came to an end. Yushi added, later on, Xianjing worried that something else would happen to Lin Si, so he never gave him anything valuable again. Yushi stared at the candle flame while he blanked out. A light sigh left his lips. There's an old walnut tree in Xianjing's courtyard. The walnuts it bears are of pretty good quality. Xianjing never dared to give Lin Si silver or gold again. Instead, he gifted the other walnuts from his yard as a replacement. If Lin Si wants something or wants to buy something, he can exchange the little walnuts with Xianjing to get what he wants. Later on, I visited Xianjing's estate for a banquet again, Yushi said. I once personally witnessed him secretly picking the walnuts off the tree and stuffing them into Lin Si's sleeves. That expression. I'm unsure if they understood clearly, but I certainly did. Zhonwan thought about that scene. Disregarding the fact that Xianjing was an idiot, that scene was practically one out of a painting. Faint amusement appeared in Zhonwan's eyes. That's not right either. Even if Xianjing's stupid, why are you only mad at Lin Si? I'm not only mad at him. I'm jealous of the both of them. The smile disappeared from Yushi's face. Coldly, he stated, how come, under similar circumstances, the two of them never separated? And they even managed to live such a fruitful life. Instead, Zhonwan's heart twinged with pain. If you hadn't left, I would definitely have treated you better than how Xianjing treats Lin Si. Yushi glanced at Zhonwan. He didn't continue his sentence. 7 years had passed. Thinking back now, those years were definitely like scars that would never heal. Zhonwan hadn't completely recovered yet. His body was frail and he got tired easily. After dinner, he yawned incessantly. He had forced himself to stay alert to listen to Yushi talk for so long. Now, he was already fighting to keep his eyes open. Upon noticing that Yushi was a bit displeased, he wanted to continue talking with Yushi. However, Yushi stood up and said, sleep. I shouldn't have allowed you to leave today. I'm fine, just a little tired. Zhonwan rubbed his eyes. Because of me, you always have to sleep early these days too. Yushi asked in response, who told you that I'm going to accompany you to sleep? Zhonwan froze, awkward. You. Are you not sleeping with me? Yushi replied, I still have something to do. You sleep by yourself first. Zhonwan couldn't really relax. He forced the sleepiness away as he asked, are you going to the study again? Yushi burst into laughter. Without waiting for Yushi to explain, Zhonwan tried to scare him. Do you know what it means at other estates when the master of the estate doesn't sleep in his own bedroom? Yushi honestly didn't know about these things. He furrowed his brows and gazed at Zhonwan. Zhonwan said, bluffing, it means that we've gotten into an argument. A couple got into an argument and the husband feared getting killed in the middle of the night by his own wife. Thus, he slept in the study. Yushi was dumbstruck. Zhonwan's expression was serious. That's the truth. Besides, if there were elderly people on your estate who noticed that a young couple weren't sleeping together, they'd even come over and ask about it, then coax us to reconcile. We have unfortunate lives. There aren't any seniors who are capable of keeping us in line, but you can't overindulge yourself by casually sleeping in the study because of this, right? Yushi was bewildered. What did this have to do with anything? Zhonwan's argument was very logical. Another situation where the master of the estate sleeps in the study is when he's secretly meeting a mistress. However, based on the situation on your estate, who do you think would be suitable for you to be secretly meeting? Those nannies? That little maid who's just barely reached the height of my waist? Or your family soldiers who are all the size of small mountains? Perhaps Steward Feng? If these rumors got out, do you think they would be very flattering? Yushi. Zhonwan pitted himself greatly. Besides, if you act in this manner, you're making things very difficult for me. If you sleep in the study, all the people on your estate will think that you don't like me anymore. After enough time, they'll no longer be so dedicated to taking care of me. Consequently, they'll give me old clothes to wear and leftovers to eat. Finally, they'll kick me out to sleep in the woodshed. Thus, I'll only be able to pound rice while singing. Yushi calmly stated, "Keep making things up." Zhonwan shut up, embarrassed. Yushi furrowed his brows. "You sleep first. I'll be back soon." Yushi headed to the study. He ordered someone to summon the family soldier who had left the estate with Zhonwan today. The family soldier carefully relayed what Zhonwan had done and said today in detail to Yushi. He didn't leave anything out. After hearing that Zhonwan had hesitated about whether or not he should see Xianrui, Yushi froze. The family soldier said, "The former Prince Jian'an's younger sister sent someone to bring gifts to our estate several times already. Each time, she also sent a messenger, saying that she wants to see young Master Zhong. Young Master Zhong does reply to her letters but has never gone out to see her. Additionally, there wasn't much business to attend to after heading out today. This subordinate specially asked young Master Zhong if he wanted to visit his own estate for a bit. Young Master Zhong said that there was no need." The family soldier continued, but young Master Zhong's expression had clearly been hesitant. Yushi lowered his gaze. He still feels like he's disappointed Prince Ning. The family soldier didn't understand these things. Then how come he hasn't discussed these matters with Yushizi? He's worried that I'll be troubled, so he refuses to mention these things to me, Yushi said in a deep voice, eyes closed. Instead, he fears that I'll be unhappy and always jokes around with me, disregarding his own emotions. The family soldier could faintly sense that his master currently intended on joining the fight for Crown Prince. He lowly persuaded, tone awkward, "How is this difficult? If Yushizi fulfills your goals in the future, then you can give that little young master a prince of the first rank title and name him Prince Ning again. Then, you can give the young miss a princess of the third rank title. As such, young Master Zhong will have absolutely repaid Prince Ning." Yushi felt tempted. That's one way to do it. End chapter. Those Years in Quest of Honor Mine. Chapter 69. 2 days later, Yushi did not attend morning court. Instead, he went to see Royal Princess Angguo. Zhonwan had wanted to accompany him. Currently, he considered himself to be Yushi's advisor. No matter how he thought of it, he found this to be his duty. Furthermore, he worried that Yushi would argue with Royal Princess Angguo after a sentence, and she would slap him again. He thought if that happened, he himself could act as the mediator. Thus, he woke up very early just like Yushi. He had even dressed fully, stubbornly insisting to follow. Yushi ordered him to stay, but Zhonwan didn't listen. Yushi took one step outside, and Zhonwan would as well. Just a bit more, and he would be glued to Yushi's side. He clung to Yushi so much that Yushi felt helpless, but he also couldn't change Zhonwan up. With no other alternative, Yushi had his entourage leave for now. Then he closed the door to his room and pulled Zhonwan to his inner chamber. And he had Zhonwan pay back 3 yen of his debt. Presently, Yushi knew how to handle Zhonwan pretty well. He didn't have to use much effort to kiss him until he couldn't stand straight. Yushi released him. He stared into those eyes that held amorous feelings as he said with indifference, "Look in the mirror. See how unrestrained you look." Without a doubt, Zhonwan could guess what he meant. Indeed, after Zhonwan had heard those words, he grew somewhat bashful, a rare occurrence. Yushi wiped his bright red lips with a thumb. "Who are you trying to show such an appearance to outside?" Then Yushi turned around and stepped through the door. When the family soldiers saw Yushi come out, they rushed to follow him. He recalled how, just now, Zhonwan had softly told him to kiss him a bit harder, the corners of his lips lifting a bit. A family soldier turned his head to look at the tightly closed door. Absent-mindedly, he asked, "Didn't young Master Zhong say he wanted to come along? He still had a fever last night. What's he coming along for?" As Yushi walked, he straightened up his lapel, which Zhonwan had messed up by pulling on it. "He's just finding an excuse to act coquettishly. You don't need to worry about him." The family guard swallowed and thought, "I was only asking in passing." However, Yushi really had the urge to speak. He tried to understand the common people's lives, and said, "When you people leave your houses, do your wives act like this? Clinging to you incessantly, not letting you leave?" A family soldier was struck speechless. After a moment of thought, he said, "My wife definitely doesn't dare to do so. But he really has the guts to do it." Following that, Yushi asked another family soldier, "How about you?" The other family soldier was caught in a daze for a moment. Then he hurried to shake his head, shouting, "Definitely not." Another timid one. Yushi nodded. Struck them where it hurt by saying, "Naturally, it could also be because they don't care about you people." The family soldiers secretly swallowed tears of blood, angry but not daring to show it. Yushi fixed his lapel and entered the carriage. He said to himself in a worried manner, "He just absolutely had to cling to me, so now I'm so late. If I had to attend court today, then I'd have to forfeit my salary this month again." The driver of the horse-drawn carriage stayed silent. In the past years, every time young Prince Yu attended morning court, he would be late. But now, he actually put on such a diligent appearance. How pretentious! At the estate of Royal Princess Angguo. Royal Princess Angguo had people carefully prepare the refreshments. She had been waiting in the warm room since early on. Because of what had happened the morning before he left his side courtyard, Yushi was in high spirits. At least, the mother and son pair could maintain peaceful relationship on the surface. In a perfunctory manner, Royal Princess Angguo asked Yushi about his diet and daily life pattern. After that, she dismissed everyone. She sighed, "What did I tell you last time? If Xian Qiang ascends the throne, you'd definitely lose your life. Just recently, Emperor Brother came to the intention to recognize you as his son. And the people of that side can't sit still anymore." Yushi lowered his head for a sip of tea. "How did Prince Yu decide to handle me?" Royal Princess Angguo fell silent for a while. She did not answer his question. Then she said, "Sui Yu, explain things to me clearly first. If I assist you in ascending the throne in the future, would you be able to protect me? Would you be able to protect Prince Yu's estate?" Yushi smiled. "Princess, if Xian Qian becomes the emperor in the future, would Prince Yu protect me?" Royal Princess Angguo felt sorrowful. Yushi looked at her. He didn't know if it was because of Zhonwan's influence these past few days, but his heart had softened. And he would always recall the sweet and intimate times of his youth. He and Princess Royal Angguo had once had a mother and son relationship. Yushi paused, before saying, "If you want to stand by Xian Qiang's side now, I won't blame you. In the future, no matter what happens, I won't touch the princess estate. But Prince Yu, I am now someone with a wife. I cannot leave these seeds of trouble for myself." Royal Princess Angguo hatefully said, "What wife?" She picked up her teacup. A good while later, she set it down, helpless. "Never mind. Pretend I never asked." Royal Princess Angguo's status was awkward. She was both Xian Qiang's aunt and Yushi's foster mother. When the two competed against each other for the throne, she could not avoid them. She had to choose a side. Princess Angguo had been proud and arrogant all her life. She did not want to be stepped on by Imperial consort Yu in the future. Now, she could only give up something. Although Prince Yu and I had long since separated, in the past, I truly did let him down. She shook her head. It's fine. Let's not talk about this anymore. Then she said in a low voice, recently, Emperor Brother truly has been impatient. First, he had you enter his cabinet. Then, he repeatedly spoke to his old relatives explicitly and implicitly. And a few days ago, he was trying to act as a matchmaker for you. Now, we're just missing one step. How could Prince Yu just watch helplessly as Emperor Brother recognizes you as his son? He wants to bring up the matter of my mother, right? Royal Princess Angwo was shocked. How did you know? I guessed, said Yushi in a tranquil manner. What else could it be? Although I've been a scoundrel these many years, I've only been a scoundrel to myself. I've never harmed the people around me. If he wants everyone to know I'm not suitable to compete for the throne, then he could only find trouble from my background. Moreover, Yushi laughed mockingly to himself. This matter is a secret of the emperor. Right now, he only needs to start a small rumor. Once others learn of this matter from the emperor's youth that brings the emperor worry, it's very likely that they'd bury me and that person who had been buried long ago. In this way, everyone would become clean. Emperor Brother wouldn't be this heartless. Royal Princess Angwo frowned. What's more, he hasn't brought up the matter yet, right? Yushi glanced at her and smiled faintly. Weren't you just hesitating? Everyone knows I'm the thing that keeps the balance between both sides. When an emergency comes, they only need to abandon me and their troubles would decrease by leaps and bounds. It's not the time to speak such demoralizing words, said Royal Princess Angwo in a low voice. I don't know the finer details, but I heard that a few days ago, Prince Yu sent people to a distant place. Apparently, it's to find some people. Yushi said, are those some of the people who waited on that woman in the palace? Princess Royal Angwo nodded. Yushi narrowed his eyes. There's only one thing I don't understand. Is Prince Yu not afraid that the emperor would clench his teeth and acknowledge my mother's matter and recognize me even at the cost of all his reputation? This, she wanted to say her next words but also didn't. If the matter of your birth mother was brought into public, then actually, it's not good proof that you are Emperor Brother's son. Yushi did not understand. Royal Princess Angwo hardened her heart and tried her best to put it mildly by saying, before the previous emperor had left the world, many of the palace residences were going through renovation. The previous emperor disliked the disorderliness, and so moved to the temporary imperial residence in the north. His stay spanned a few months. Your birth mother did not follow. And it was at that time that she conceived you. However, at that time it hadn't only been Emperor Brother moving in and out of the palace. Since your birth mother was actually able to be with Emperor Brother, said Royal Princess Angwo near whisper, then it's possible that another person could have. She beat around the bush, saying, if the former palace maid Prince Yu finds carelessly says your birth mother had relations with other people, then how could the emperor prove you are his son? Yushi looked at the ground. All of a sudden, he laughed. Fearing Yushi was falling into another bout of madness, Royal Princess Angwo blurted, of course, I can stand as a witness that you are definitely Emperor Brother's child. However, it was difficult for him to see your birth mother back then. We could only have the laborers repair your birth mother's palace more. Otherwise, how could he have sneaked in? I'm very clear on what happened before and after that. But that day, they had acted with a bit too much impropriety. The Imperial censorate had brought it up a few times. The Imperial clan members said your birth mother should move out of the palace, but the Empress Dowager blocked this from happening. I fear that this matter would be recorded in history. Recently, Prince Yu had been searching for those records of long ago. I'm afraid he will use them to weave a story. She rushed to explain, Sui Yu. Do you understand? Don't let your mind wander in strange places. You are definitely the son of Emperor Brother. Yushi looked directly at her and asked, since these matters are so important, why did you people let those people live? Why not just kill them? Royal Princess Angwo's lips twitched. Realization struck her and she covered her mouth out of reflex. She had misspoken. But Yushi understood the implications. Back then, you and Prince Yu were worried the emperor wouldn't smoothly ascend the throne. Feared that changes would occur. So, you hid these people in secret. You thought that if it were Prince Ning who ascended, then you would use these human testimonies and material evidence to defect to Prince Ning's side, right? Yushi's train of thought was smooth. But if after the current emperor ascended the throne, he wanted to dispose of the people who had already served their purpose, then those people would become your protective talismans. And now, they have become the good pawns to control me with. Not bad. He looked at her. He pushed down the hatred in his heart. He expended a lot of effort to smile at her. You've known it since long ago. And Yushi smiled mockingly toward himself. It turned out the harmonious relationship between mother and son in the past were merely his own delusions. Just a while ago, Yushi had told Royal Princess Angwo that in the future, even if she turned around and defected to Xianqian's side, Yushi would protect her if he ascended the throne. Because of the memories in his youth, Yushi had truly considered her as his mother. Prince Yu had concubines who gave birth to illegitimate sons one after the other. He rarely came to the princess estate. Even though the young Yushi had abided by protocol and observed propriety to the extreme, he had talked back to Prince Yu a few times for her. At that time, did those people who saw him treat it as watching a joke? Gradually, Yushi's eyes grew bloodshot. He closed his eyes and said to himself, it's fine. I've long since gotten used to it. This is nothing. It was like this from the start. Royal Princess Angwo was very regretful. In a moment of carelessness, she had failed to remove herself completely from the situation, and rushed to say, I knew of this long ago, but I hid those people all along, not because I'm guarding against you. Instead, I'm guarding against Prince Yu. Moreover, if I don't leave behind this backup plan, and don't have my own people in it, how could I have informed you of this important information? Yushi said in a soft voice, stop talking. I'll try my best to find those people as soon as possible. Yushi rose to his feet. I will find a way, to borrow the mouths of others to bring this matter up to the emperor. And try to make the emperor and Prince Yu fight against each other. Royal Princess Angwo rushed to say, Sui Yu, do you blame me? You. I'll keep my promises to you. Yushi had a splitting headache. I will, return to my estate. End chapter.